Hello, Just Gem here and welcome, or indeed... See, I'm so excited, I forgot, I'll start again. Hello, Just Gem here and welcome, or indeed welcome back to my channel. The reason I'm speechless is because this beauty arrived. I'm trying to pick it up here carefully. This arrived. So I was going to do an entire unboxing on camera and I'm quite glad I didn't, because the palette came in this, which was in this, which was in this, which was in this, which was in this, which came in this. I might have the order of that wrong. I know that was last. I think I mixed up the last two. But basically, if you're ordering this palette and you're concerned about it being damaged in transit, if it's wrapped anything like mine, it will be fine. It was akin to breaking out of Alcatraz, but in reverse, basically, trying to get into this palette. And I probably would have got frustrated and very angry had I tried to do it on camera. But I got all the way down to just the pouch, so I'll show you that. So that's the really clever pouch, and then you can kind of see the embossing there. Nice, clear, bold embossing on the pouch. I'm taking off the plastic, and here it is, guys. Fully unwrapped. Look at that. Yeah, it's a wonder. I mean, it arrived earlier. I've done a full day's work. I had to put the box aside because I knew if I got into the box, that would be my day over, and I genuinely had work to do. I've been on annual leave. I've just got back today. So I made sure I finished work and then I can play and film. This is like a real-time reaction here. I'm opening it up. It's got yet more packaging. Good grief. So in the lid, more packaging, let's get rid of that. And then you've got more packaging. So look, they're really protected here. Just give me a moment while I admire it in person. And it's still got like the little, so there's a little sleeve. So there it is. And you've got a little plastic sleeve. So you're even seeing it without the sleeve on top before me. Wow. I mean, you can look at all of the pictures and all of the videos, and I say this as someone who's recording a video, but I just don't know how much justice can be given unless you can see it in person. See, on camera, let me see if I'm always moaning about my lights, but let me just see if I knock it down a little bit. That is just stunning. Like, I mean, we're in September. I'm going to call it, this is the palette of the year. I don't see this being beat at all. This is stunning. Right, I'm going to stop gushing. And there's also, I'm guessing it's to keep it all secure in transit, but there's also like a little wedged bit of protection here as well. Let me pull that out also. But yeah, honestly, so incredibly well wrapped. I think some people, other companies, need to take note when it comes to how you wrap your palettes, because this was impeccably wrapped. Very, very safe. This is what one pan on its own looks like. And these are quite strong magnets here as well, so if you're wondering, if you're travelling with it, if you're thinking to yourself, oh, it's going to roll around, no it's not. I'm doing this with two hands and I'm still struggling here a little bit, which is a good thing because you don't want it to be rolling around. So that's 1, 2, nice satisfying click there. 3, Let's get the mirror out as well and whack that on top. And click. And look at how cute that is. That's adorable. And then I'm just going to, obviously, I'm having so much fun here, can you tell? I'm so excited. I'm like a small child in a candy store. Right, and putting this, sliding this in to the pouch. So this pouch, when you first open it, it's a bit stiff. It's quite tricky to open. So I would recommend maybe shoving some fingers in there and then pinching at the sides. That's how I'd recommend opening that. And I think I'll also quickly see about how you remove the individual pans, because I know you can do that also. Ah, I see. Okay, so you can see there you've got like these kind of grooves in the middle. You can basically just stick your nail in between these grooves and flick a pan up. It's quite a strong magnet, but I just want you to be able to see that that's how you can do it. So it's got the shade name on the back there. So you see that? The magnet's got it. Click. They're not going to fall out. Pretty strong magnets in there. They're not going anywhere. That's just to show you that's upside down. I'm giving it quite a good shake. They're not going anywhere. So in case anyone was wondering how strong the magnets are, pretty strong. What else can I tell you about the palette before sticking my grubby little fingers all over it? And I could do that whole bit where I read off the box, but I'm sure you're capable. Maybe I'll just a little bit, just to give you a bit of a taster. Danessa Myricks Beauty Lightwork Volume 6 Freedom Palette. Illuminating pigments, colour for eyes, face and lips. Oh, that's French. I thought I was having a stroke. Yes, so that's now in French. Let's move on. Magnetic, stackable, customisable. Unlock the power of infinite possibilities with our groundbreaking, magnetic, customisable, stackable and collectible, on-the-go, all-over face palette. This fully customisable design contains 3 curated colour stories and 18 mesmerising shades. Use these simple one-swipe colours alone or travel up and down rows for infinite possibilities and looks. The Lightwork 6 Freedom Palette, your look, your way from basics to beyond. And it's funny because I feel like both in my Natasha Denona video and my Pat McGrath video, I talked about being groundbreaking and innovative, and groundbreaking is one of the words that they've used on here, so I'm actually quite glad I've read the back of the box. And this is what I'm talking about. This is what I mean. This is, I mean, if I was to break it down, it's not, I mean, let me swatch them and get in there first, but it's very much following the groundwork that Danessa has laid with her Lightwork series. It's those bold, glorious, luxurious, shimmery shades that are just, they're stunning, really. I think we've seen the swatches on social so far, and they look stunning. But the kicker here is the whole palette itself. You know, it's thin already, so if you want to travel with it like this, it's still not got much bulk. It doesn't. But just the fact that you can take that off, you can take each, well, it's not quad, not quint. What's the word for 6? That's going to irritate me. I'm going to have to find that out. But the fact that you can take each 6 out, and if you've got your favourites, condense them into one and take that with you, is just genius. And it's a wonder. Obviously you've got magnetic pans and whatnot, but this is just, well, this is fun. To be honest, it's just fun, and it's cute and it's different, and I just love this little mirror, and I love this little pouch. So yeah, that's just on the packaging. I haven't even touched it yet, so maybe we should do that. I apologise, I don't look my best today. I've looked better. And I was contemplating not putting any foundation or concealer on so I could potentially swatch on my face. And then I decided against that because I didn't want to scare anybody off, because that's how horrendous I looked. I look marginally better now that I've put on some foundation and concealer. But apologise if that's still a bit on the scary side. I'm looking at this and I don't know which 6 I want to get stuck into first. I've got a selection of flat brushes in front of me, and a mixture of kind of Refa and Zoeva, and then a random Spectrum brush, just because I think that they will be the best at picking up and applying these shades. I might play with this one first. I wonder if the individual 6s have names. No, they don't. Just because they've got different colour stories, I wondered if she'd also named each individual 6, but she hasn't. So because I haven't swatched these yet, I'm going in blind, so I don't know what the shifts are going to be. But that's half the fun, isn't it? So I haven't primed, I've just got sort of concealer on my lid. And the reason I haven't primed, and I've only used concealer as a base, which I wouldn't normally do, I would use a specific eye primer, is that from viewing the swatches, these pop more on deeper skin. I'm not saying they don't look good on lighter skin, they do, but there's just something about putting these kinds of shades on a deeper base that just makes them pop more. I didn't want to put a lighter primer on to detract from that. Let's start with the green. Let's just kind of put the green on my lid. I've got quite a chunky, flattish A07 from Spectrum brushes here. And this is with a brush. And normally I like to go in with a finger. Wow, okay. That's... I think I'm not gonna worry about colours matching. I'm just gonna put them on my eyelids because I think that's a good way to approach it, because I'm a little bit overwhelmed, I'm not gonna lie. I'm excited and overwhelmed. I'm going in with this orange next, and I'm gonna put it right next to this green. It's giving Ireland. It's giving Ireland. That's pretty cool. I wonder what that would look like if I did use a finger. Okay, yeah. I mean, as if it wasn't intense enough with just a brush. If you want to amp it up, if you use a finger, it's even more so. I mean, I'm not creating a look as such, it's more like using my eyes to do the swatches. I might use, I've got a Zoeva pencil type brush, which I might use on the gold that's in here. Here it is, so it's my Zoeva 230 that I like to use. I think I said this gold, but there's 2 different types of gold here. Yes, let's use, yeah, I think I said this one originally, so we'll use that one. I think something ever so slightly denser might be better with this, but you can see that. Note to self, don't poke yourself in the eye. And no, I wouldn't go that low with it, but I want you to be able to see the colour. Now you can see it. And then maybe I'll use the almost true gold here as a bit of an inner corner shade. So this is my Zoeva Detailer, the 237. It's almost got like a greeny shade to it, a greeny tint. I feel like this is almost more toppery as well. I'm just running that over the top, over the orange a bit, so you can see that. So that's 4 shades. What haven't I put on? There's like a brownie. So what I will do, I will swatch on my face because, you know, why not? So there's this shade here that I haven't used. They do have names. So that's going to be Proud. That's going to be Rise, Gleaming, Higher, Unapologetic, Nirvana. So I'm going to swatch Proud just randomly on my face because I can. And then Unapologetic. So those are the 2 shades from this 6 that I haven't put on my eyes, just to show you what they look like. Right, let's move on to the next one. I don't know, because I've only got 2 eyes. I've got 2 eyes, 2 eyes. What I'd give to have a 3rd eye right now. Let's do the one that doesn't have purple and blue. Let's focus on the one at the end, which has got like the more pinks. It has got a purple in it, but it's got more pinks in there. So let's do that one. Serenity, Dance, Joy, Rejoice, Bliss, Love. Joy and Rejoice are quite similar, which I guess, given how they're named, is pretty appropriate. I imagine they've got very, very different shifts though, so yeah, so you can, I think you can see the shifts there. So it's those 2 that look obviously quite similar. So let's see how that translates on the lid, shall we? So we'll start with Joy, and I'm just packing that onto a Refer number 1. So that's Joy there. And I'll start that. I'll leave a little bit of a gap right on the inside. Actually, that's a good way of fitting more shades on my lid, actually, just swipe down. So I might do stripes next to each other on my lid. But that's Joy. See, that way it almost looks gold. Does that look gold to you? It looks gold to me. But then this way it looks pink. Right, so I'm wiping that off, getting rid of all of the pigment. So I can now go in with Rejoice next to it. I feel like this might have a green shift. I feel like I need to put it on more. What's that shift? What is that shift? See, I wonder if this is the slightly different formula, because some of them are more toppery than others. Yeah, see, I've just gone back into Joy then, haven't I? So that's more Joy. And that's Rejoice on the end. I think there you can see that they're different. But they are very close. They've just got ever so slightly different shifts in them. This is a good brush actually for this. Ignore the shoddy application. It's a good thing I'm not leaving the house today. I do need milk, but you know, never mind. Just giving myself a bit of a wing there. But I think you can just see the difference, though it's quite minute. I wonder if I would have preferred a bigger variation. I think I get the idea, but they're just a bit too similar for me. I'll put Serenity in the gap that I've left towards the front. Again, I don't know if it will necessarily be an inner corner highlight, because it could shift to a very different colour. Yeah, so I'm going in with Serenity here, so it looks to be like a silver shade, but let's see if it has a shift when you put it on. See, that looks pink. This is crazy. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, no, it's pink. It is pink. But again, with a slightly different shift. This will make more sense when I swatch them next to each other. But yeah, so that's got a pink shift to it. So I think you can just about see the differences. So that's, I don't know what that's shifting to though. But when I sort of turn, I think you can see the different tones there. On the bottom, I shall go with one of the purples. I think I'll go with the deeper purple, which is called Bliss. And this is that purple right here. Yeah, I think this is even softer than that Zoeva I was using actually. Kind of need like a dense, stiffer pencil. Okay, yeah, there we go, that's better. It's not as intense, so it's shimmery, but it's more toned down. That's quite a pretty shade of purple. Right next to that, I don't have much room, but let's see how it looks. I am going to go in with Love, so that's almost the magenta shade here. And let's see what Love looks like and if it's going to show up enough. It's a similar formula, I think, to that one. Can you see the difference? Yes, I can. Again, subtle, but I can see it. Okay, so what haven't I used here? I think the only shade I haven't used, I might just swatch them all down my face anyway, because I think it might just be easier to kind of tell the difference. Right, so Serenity, that was the colour that I put on my inner corner. This next shade is Dance, which I haven't used at all yet. Then we have Joy, Rejoice, Ooh, yeah, see, this is easier to see the differences. Love. And last but not least, Bliss. Yeah, that allows you to, I'll zoom you out a little bit so I don't have to crane my neck quite so much. But I think seeing them like that just allows you to see the different shades. I wonder if some of them are perhaps a bit more similar than I would like. But then having said that, I mean, you can kind of see that they would look similar here. I think the surprises for me are the top two, because I wasn't expecting them to be quite so pink. Maybe that one's not pink, a bit different. But yeah. This is a chaotic video, guys. I am sorry. I am not going to lie. I'm all over the place, but it's partly because of excitement. It's partly because of tiredness. It's partly lots of reasons. So bear with me, stay with me, stick with me. And then the last, I'm going to do it on my forehead. I'm going to swatch my forehead. Why not? I've got ample space up there. So let's move that out of the way. So this quad, it's not a quad, it's 6 shades. What quint? Sextuplet? Septuplet? Sextuplet? Sextuplet. So as we've established, I've only got 2 eyes. And I've kind of done very rudimentary looks on each eye. I'm just kind of trying to get it out of the way, and it's so I'm going to use the remaining space on my face to showcase this last blue heavy one. And I do wonder if it's going to follow a bit of a similar pattern where the shades aren't majorly distinctive. We'll see. We'll see. Let's start with Release, which is this shade here. Release. Oh wow, okay. That's intense. And then followed by Release is going to be Free. Oh, I like the what's it called? There's linked words. Oh, what's the word for that in English? / wow / grammar, when words are similar in that way. It'll come to me, and if it doesn't, I'll have to find it. Then we've got Fluid, which is that kind of tealy shade. I'm excited. This feels a bit gritty. I wonder if this is more toppery. Wow, okay. Euphoria is next. I'll use my little finger. That's Euphoria there. Oh, you focused! Yay, camera! Also a bit grittier. That is Unbound. So this blue shade here, that's going to be Unbound. Is it going to focus? You're doing so well. But you get the idea. Unbound. So that's less shimmery. This is good, because I think I'll do another video, but I'll actually do like a proper look. It's quite interesting to see the different textures of the transformative shades, the shimmers, the transitions, and what you could get away with using in your crease more. So that would be a good shade to kind of put in your crease if you didn't want an overly, because that's still got some shimmer, but not as much. I mean, it doesn't even look shimmery at all, but it does, it's more satiny, but in comparison to the other shades it looks positively dull, but it's not. And last but not least is Empowered, which is like this deep purple. That's everything. I've put all shades on my face in some form or another. I think this 6 might be my favourite, only because I'm in love with blue. These ones I think are just, it's odd because I don't know what, it's going to be interesting when I watch this footage back and see how this is being captured compared to what it looks like in person. Because on camera, looking at my monitor here, they look very similar, but then in person they look far less similar. Like they're a family. It's weird, but I don't know if I'd want them to be contrasting more. But then I do like all of them. And it's weird, I don't know if it's because the lighting has changed, possibly, because the sun seems to want to come out again. Actually, maybe that can help. Yeah, see, now I think you can see the differences. Yeah. And even on the eye, I think the differences pop out more. So if I had to put them in order of my favourite, I think this blue dominant sextuplet. I'm going with sextuplet, yeah. So this blue dominant sextuplet is probably my favourite, followed by this kind of, it's almost like an earthy sextuplet. Yeah, I'm gonna say it's earthy. And then last but by no means least, and it may well be that these would shift around, but that would be in third place for me. See, that's growing on me, these colours together, because I don't know, I mean, I don't know what Danessa's sort of idea was. I'm kind of trying to... But they're just different enough. And I can see that in my eye look when I say look, I just shoved a bunch of shimmers on my lid. But I can see that more. So I might sort of recreate this, but a bit more of an actual look rather than someone who is swatching shimmers on their eyeball. You probably can't take me seriously anymore with all these colours swatched on my face. I'm gonna stop because I realise that I have been all over the place, and you're probably watching this thinking, Gem, pull yourself together, like calm down, settle down, be a bit more methodical. But being methodical just went out the window, to be honest, because I was just excited, and I wanted to have fun with this palette. It just, more so, not that I don't have fun with other palettes, but this palette to me just screams get stuck in, have some fun, play with colour, shove it on your face, experiment, you know, be, I mean, what have we got in it? Be free, yes. Experience euphoria. Be unapologetic. So I've taken that to heart, Danessa, okay? And I've just been chaotic, and I've put it all on my face, and I've had a lot of fun. And I apologise, it's a very, very different way of doing a first impressions, I appreciate that. But in case you hadn't guessed by my giddiness, I love this palette. I think it's the groundbreaking, innovating palette that I've been wanting, that I've basically been calling for much of the year. It's I love it. I do. I genuinely love it. I think it's... I just think it's so pretty and practical. And that's pretty and practical is not often a combination that is easy to achieve. If you have made it this far of this during this roller coaster, if you have made it to the end, I applaud you. More than ever, I want to say thank you for taking the time to watch and going on this journey with me. It was a lot of fun for me. I hope that was at least remotely interesting for you to watch me ramble and go completely off tangent with this palette. But that was a lot of fun, and I hope that you have found this useful. And I also hope that you will join me again in a video in the not too distant future. Take care. Bye bye.